The journey of SpaceX's Starship prototype has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, captivating the attention of space enthusiasts and industry experts alike. The first complete Starship prototype took to the skies more than half a year ago. This event, although a relatively short wait in the grand scheme of rocket development, has felt like an eternity for those eagerly following its progress. The anticipation was partly due to the sheer size and ambition of the Starship project and the mixed performances of previous prototypes, such as the S24 and B7. These earlier versions, while crucial in their developmental role, did not fully meet the high expectations set for them. This incident on 20th April, while a setback, provided SpaceX with valuable data to refine and improve the design. In the months following, SpaceX dedicated itself to significant enhancements and upgrades to the Starship system. This dedication to continuous improvement and learning from past experiences has set the stage for the next big leap, the anticipated second launch. This upcoming launch has generated a buzz of excitement and optimism. The anticipation is further fueled by Musk's own confidence in the project. Musk has given a concrete percentage prediction on the likelihood of the Starship completing a full orbital flight successfully. Before we go further, please remember to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on Starship and SpaceX's other key missions. The liftoff of this next Starship's orbital test flight is poised to be its most impressive and memorable moment. This anticipation builds on the public attention garnered by the first launch, which, despite ending in an explosion and not achieving its goal of orbiting the Earth, became one of the most publicized moments in rocket history. Even when compared to legendary rockets of the past, such as the Saturn V used in the Apollo missions, the Space Shuttle, or Russia's Soyuz rockets, the Starship's first launch captured public attention like few others. Some might argue that in the era of those rockets there was no internet, making information less accessible, and while this is true, it's not the only reason for Starship's immense publicity on its April 20th launch. Remember, this rocket is the largest ever built on Earth. It stands significantly taller and is more powerful than the legendary Saturn V, which was previously the benchmark for rocket size and capability. The sheer scale of Starship, its ambitious goals for Mars colonization and beyond, and its potential to change the future of space travel have all contributed to the intense public interest and media coverage. Moreover, the approach SpaceX has taken in developing Starship, with transparent testing, public live streams, and frequent updates from Musk himself, has also played a key role in garnering such attention. This level of public engagement and openness is unprecedented in the history of space exploration. Hopefully, on November 17th, in line with SpaceX's recent tweet stating, "Starship preparing to launch as early as November 17th, pending final regulatory approval," the powerful engines will lift the world's largest rocket into orbit, creating a moment of high emotion and a landmark event in space exploration. However, the liftoff is just a small part of the entire flight, which includes many important steps before and after liftoff. The upcoming Starship flight faces many new challenges because SpaceX has made more than 1,000 changes to the rocket since its first test in April. Musk mentioned that these numerous updates, made after the rocket didn't reach orbit in its initial launch, are crucial for improving its performance for this flight. Before SpaceX's Starship lifts off, a detailed and critical process begins approximately 2 hours prior to launch, extending until about T-20 minutes. This process includes pole verification, where the SpaceX launch team conducts final checks to ensure all systems are ready for fueling and launch. Every team member confirms their respective systems are ready for the operation. The fueling process itself is intricate. It starts with the booster, the rocket's lower section, which is fueled first. This is followed by fueling the Starship spacecraft, the upper portion of the rocket. The reason for this sequence is to manage the differences in mass between the two sections and to optimize the use of propellant effectively. After the fueling is complete, SpaceX undertakes a crucial step known as venting. This involves releasing pressure from the propellant tanks. The purpose of this step is to manage the expansion of the warming propellant inside the tanks. As the propellant warms up, it expands, and venting is necessary to prevent overpressurization. Approximately 20 minutes before liftoff, the engines will be cooled to reduce temperature differences between them and the propellant, avoiding damage and affecting propellant flow and combustion. Recent months have seen upgrades to the engine, including reinforced injectors and manifolds, a new electric TVC system, and improved igniters. 3 seconds before liftoff, the engines ignite, preceded by the activation of the water deluge system, a significant upgrade from the previous flight. This system deflects and disperses fire, reducing heat and pressure from the 33 Raptor engines. The rocket leaves the launch pad about 5 seconds after engine activation, reducing the time the launch mount is exposed to heat and pressure. This, combined with the support of steel plates and the water deluge system, helps prevent damage to the launch mount and surrounding infrastructure. Shortly after, the separation process begins. The booster engines cut off and the spacecraft's engines activate immediately while still on the booster, a mechanism known as hot staging. The separation process is simplified, with heat and pressure from the spacecraft engines being directed outward to avoid damage. After its separation from the upper stage, the Starship booster begins a complex series of maneuvers to ensure a safe landing in the Gulf of Mexico. It first shuts down its engines and enters a transonic state, which is a critical phase where the booster transitions from supersonic to subsonic speeds. Following this, the engines are reignited for a controlled and precise landing in the ocean. In the meantime, the upper stage of Starship continues its journey in orbit. Its engines run for approximately 6 minutes before shutting down, allowing the spacecraft to spend over an hour in space. During this time, it covers 3/4 of Earth's circumference. Upon re-entry into the atmosphere, Starship performs a unique belly flop maneuver. This involves orienting itself to direct its heat shield downward, efficiently managing the intense heat of atmospheric re-entry. The mission concludes with Starship gracefully splashing down in the ocean, a method chosen for this particular test flight. Some of you might be wondering why SpaceX opted for this splashdown approach instead of employing their innovative Mechazilla system, which is known for catching the booster midair. The reason lies in the specific objectives and safety considerations of this test flight. By choosing a splashdown, SpaceX can thoroughly test and evaluate the re-entry dynamics and heat shield performance of Starship in a more controlled and less risky manner. This approach allows for incremental testing and improvements, a hallmark of SpaceX's development strategy, ensuring that each step is carefully assessed before moving on to more complex landing techniques like the Mechazilla system. And that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.